Okay, this is Jim. I'm back. He's Bartender. It's Bastille Day. We're at the catch. Let's see how this works. Hope it doesn't cut out. It could cut out and we'll have to start. I'm working with Kristen today and Luis. Sometimes Luis likes talking to me. Sometimes he doesn't. But I do hear when he says the curse words. So we're going to be doing, if anybody comes in early, it doesn't matter if they come in early or not, we're going to be doing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So we'll see how that goes. Right now it's just the final touches. It's 10:30. We normally open up at 11. When I'm here, I like opening up the doors and going right into it. If anybody comes here, I want them to feel welcome. And just come in, front door, sit down. I know the kitchen doesn't open till 11. That's what I'll tell them. But they're welcome to sit down and have a refreshment. Usually the early people aren't, at least around here, the early people that show up here aren't sucking down liquor or beer. But there are places for that. And there's a couple miles up the road, a place called the Caribbean Club, the world famous Caribbean Club where they filmed the movie Key Largo. They have a bar there, and it's a Caribbean Club. They have snacks and stuff like that. They don't have food, but for years they didn't have a front door, and that was because they never closed. And people used to come in there, spend practically the whole day, and now. They do have a door. I guess they did that so, you can keep the guys out of it, and kind of closing it before the kids are going to school, so you don't have people drinking and driving on the road when the school buses are coming around. But I hear stories of people years ago when little kids would get on bus, they would be yelling out at the Caribbean Club saying hi to their dad who was sitting in there. But as I said, it's not as I don't know what it's like. They used to get, you get people coming off shift work. There's nothing wrong with it. That's after work to them. So the reason why they can enjoy a drink. But here at the catch, because we do serve food, most of the people are coming in for an early lunch. And you get some guys coming in, they have, they want to have a beer and stuff like that. But we normally don't get the heavy partakers, let's call them, until afternoon. Okay, and you know what? This is a lesson in dexterity for me because on best days I may cut my finger off when I'm cutting fruit, and I'm doing pretty good here. I think because I went light on the coffee. Okay, I did mention 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So I know it's an old game and stuff like that. It's been around for over 20 years. And it was invented by, I think, these Canadian guys. I could be wrong about that. I'm going to get them pissed off if they listen to it. But then again, we have a small audience right now. I don't think they're going to notice that. Hey, I'd like to say hi to Ashley Jordan, if she's listening. Or, let me see, who else do we have? We got people in Ashburn, Virginia. I don't know if they listen live. We got Warren, Pennsylvania, Allentown. I got Macau. I got a attorney brother in Macau, China. Pat Hogan, I want to say, send a shout out to, not a shit out to, I guess. And all my family and friends, except my mom, I guess, because Mom, for the life of me, she does not have an idea what a podcast is. She thinks it has something to do with gardening, I think. Like pea pods and stuff like that. So technology is eluding her. But that's not just a stereotype. My father, who is in his mid-70s, they're a long time divorced, and he's remarried for, God, over 30 years, I guess. He knows how to get the podcast, but I guess I don't. You can't. The one thing about podcasts, I'm 53 years old, so I got to get my younger relatives, my nieces, nephews, and all those interested. And I do have my niece Kelly in Philadelphia. She's a big-time political. She runs a big organization. I don't want to mention it because I don't want to get her in trouble. But she is a powerful young woman, very influential. in national politics. And I have my niece, Caitlin, who is a captain in the Army, and she's a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. And then I have my nephew, Mikey, and Meg, and Emily, and Richard. I have younger cousins I know that can listen to podcasts, and I send them all out a nice shout. Megan, I hope, I know Megan's, Meg, she doesn't like to call Megan, my brother's daughter. She's working in a bar restaurant in Towson, Maryland. So if you listen out, I think it's stories. And if they are, if I have a relative listen, put them on. I'll just send a shout out to stories. I know you'll probably be getting ready to open up now. It's a Friday. And Meg, you may not be working early, but you know what? Maybe you can play it. Man, it's Stories in Towson, Maryland. That's a great place to hang out. It's right in the town center. Oh, we got a guy coming in to clean out the beer lines here. That's great. Let me move this stuff out of the way. How you doing, my friend? Hey, I saw you at the courthouse yesterday. Yeah. Hey. It's funny. I have a dispute going on with a major bank, and I saw someone there. I don't want to discuss that, but how you doing today? So, I'm sorry about that. I'll move that out of the way. There. So, I have a gentleman coming in and cleans out our beer lines. They do it. They're assiduous with that. They get that done. I'm doing a live podcast right now. Okay. I can still, you know what I mean? So, but if you talk real, if you don't talk real loud, I mean, if you like to talk louder, you can be on it. Come on, Pam. Okay. Well, Stories Bar and Restaurant in Towson, Maryland, which I can endorse. It's in Towson. It's not a competitor.
What's that?
It's this bar restaurant in Towson my niece works at. It's a beautiful place. It's in the center. It's kind of like the hangout we are here, there, in the middle of Towson. Yeah, they got a bar, and you know the bartenders are all fun, and the girls are pretty like our girls here. The women, I should say. But it's a friendly, locals friendly place. But maybe unlike that, because Towson is actually on the edge of a very large town. We are further away from a large town of Miami. That Miami's about 60 miles away. I say the heart of Miami. So we're not really that close. So we don't get a large. There's not really large groups of people around here. We get large tourist groups. So that's what we have. And this past Wednesday, when I had my radio show, I had met a German family, the Bastilles, from Ulmberg, Germany. They originally lived in Norway, but they are German. And the parents, Daniel and Uta, and the two lovely sons, they were visiting Key Largo for the week. I don't even know if they may still be in town right now. They came in and we had a lovely conversation. It was funny when I met them. I'm looking at them. They were impeccably dressed. They were very stylish and European casual formal, I guess you call it, business casual wear. And they're wearing glasses. They look very intelligent. And they came into Rotary at 7:30 in the morning. So during that, I introduced myself and I sat and talked to them. And right at the end of it, even though I knew, I just got the vibe that I felt psychologist, psychiatrist, and Uta was a psychiatrist, and Daniel is a physician. So I had one time, I think it's that bartender vibe you get. So today I digress again. We talk about 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Let's see if we're still recording right now. Okay. Yes, it looks like we're still recording. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's where you pick an actor in a movie and you link them to Kevin Bacon through shared association through the movie. And it's hard to do when you're picking yourself. You know, if I'm picking myself and I have to pick the person, I'm gonna probably pick someone that's easy to associate. But you know what? I'll pick someone that's not easy to associate. It's going to take me a minute. Let me say, you know what? I'll pick Paul Rubens, the famous Pee Wee Herman. And let's see, what was he in? I think he was in Studio 54 with Ryan Felipe. And Ryan Felipe was in, and he probably was in a movie with Kevin Bacon, but it eludes me right now. So it was in Studio 54. I think it was Ryan Felipe. And Ryan Felipe was in Training Day. And Training Day, not in Training Day, in Crash with Matt Dillon and a bunch of actors, Sandra Bullock and gosh, who else was in it? Brendan Fraser, Matt Dillon. So let's pick, Matt Dillon. Oh, got it, Bill. Hold on a second, let me pause this. Here.
Are you writing a ceremony or
No, I'm actually podcasting right now to an audience, broadcasting.
No, you are not.
Yes, I am. It's here, just so you see it. Speaker Studio, I'm podcasting. I'm 11 minutes into a show. I have a regular show that I do live from here, and I do it to people.
Gotcha.
And that's what I do regularly and stuff. And this is one. It's called Bar Setup.
Everything work out yesterday?
Oh, me too.
Oh, he wants to go for 4,500. I ain't got it. How am I gonna? You might as well go ahead and cancel me from here. I'll leave my house and everything.
No, we had for me. I had. It's with a bank, and I don't want to discuss it right now because we're starting because I'm on it. But we came back. They had got me on the credit card processing, and which I disagree with on that. They misrepresented themselves. So I wasn't really happy with not being able to return that stuff. I was locked in this thing. I was trying to consolidate my debt. I couldn't consolidate my debt because I had this credit card processing that I wasn't using. Contacted account, and we had agreed, it looked like we had agreed with their representative, but the representative wasn't really the representative. She was representing the representative. And the agreement we had, she went back to him and she wasn't happy with it. And they weren't happy when it came back. And she was hurt. And I said, listen, I know you're doing your job.
Right.
Said, but I'm going to court. I'm thinking, I'd rather lose some money because you can't get blood from a stone on something like that.
They're trying to go after my mother because she has all the money. But she's done. She has terminal cancer.
I heard that. I heard they took her whole jaw.
$250,000 they want to charge her now. All her jaws are gone. Now it's with
What is this for?
It's for a divorce case.
Oh my God.
He wants $4,500 of work he never did. He says that he did a deposition on my wife, and then he charged me $1,500 for the deposition. And then when I told him, I don't want you to do this, no, he charged me $1,500 for cancer. But he changed the paperwork that he handed in, and hopefully I have the main copy.
Oh, the main copy.
Right, because he waited a year.
If you had that, then not only that, if you had that, it's open and shut. Well, not only, and you countersue him.
Oh, we're going. If I can find the original paperwork,
find that paperwork.
I think my attorney has it. Because I hired another attorney when he went out of the $3,000 like in less than 5-6 days.
Yeah.
$1,000 for this, $800 for a phone call. This and that.
Oh man, if he changed it.
We'll see what he does.
That happened to me on a lease one time in Maryland. My ex-wife, and they had her sign a reservation, and it came back and they said it was a lease, and they said on the paper it wasn't a lease, but my ex-wife lost the paperwork, and we were never able to prove it. But
I find the old stuff. We'll see.
Good luck there.
All right, brothers.
You
Have
too.
a great day. Have a good weekend.
You too. Okay, so hey, that's the way the bar is. I ran into this guy in the county courthouse yesterday, and we had mutual disputes, not with the same people, and his case wasn't resolved. What they do is they go in there, at least in Monroe County, it's in small claims court. They try to resolve any disputes through mediation, and I sat with a mediator and an attorney for the company that I had that has a dispute with me. And they have, I'm not going to say whether it was relevant or not, but we both have our issues. And I had made a counter offer because of what I felt was, for my cause, and they have their cause too, which I understand. It doesn't mean I accept. So, and I didn't say what the name of the company is, so I'm safe right there. But eventually I'll get big enough that I will not use the power of the pulpit to castigate a company. But it does. I am a true believer in that being true in all your dealings, and that's what I am. Okay, we're back. Kevin Bacon. I'm sorry. Paul Rubens was in. Sixth Street. Kevin Bacon. I'll normally put like a 5-minute. So I'll go all the way out to 6th Street. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, I think he was, in Studio 54 he wasn't. No, I got that wrong. Let's go all the way back to, I'm going to go from Pee Wee Herman. Let's go to, in the original big Pee Wee Herman movie, or his TV show, Cowboy Curtis was Lawrence Fishburne.
I'm there.
Okay. Oh my God, I just did it. Pee Wee Herman, Lawrence Fishburne. He was Cowboy Curtis, and Lawrence Fishburne was with Kevin Bacon in the movie Mystic River, where Kevin Bacon was the police officer. Now that, I finagled that, and I could have went all the way to Lawrence Fishburne being into starting out, going to Apocalypse Now, and then Apocalypse Now to Martin Sheen, and Martin Sheen to Christopher Walken, and then Christopher Walken to somebody, whatever, and take it all the way out to 6. But I did that in 2 steps, and that's where it is. You can actually link any actor in any movie who is in more than one movie with one other film star within 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon. And that goes for Marilyn Monroe to, because there were young actors that played in other movies later on. It's harder to do, but that's what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to try to make it interesting because, bar people are interested in trivia and they like to play games sometimes. And they like to be distracted. And hopefully we'll have some form of excitement. Otherwise, we're just going to be watching Wimbledon right now. You can make some comments about it. You got the ball boy. I'm watching it right now. It's playing in the... Did I change it? Can I change it? Yeah, I could change it. Why, is it dead? Here we go. Oh, yep. Okay. Okay, I remember this. This side up. Okay. If I was told correctly, the Coca-Cola guy said Coke is one of the few sodas for the beverage systems where it can be dispensed right side up, which means the nozzle's in the top of the box. And the box weighs like 45 to 50 pounds. Boy, it sounds like a weakling, don't I? I am carrying the box out. We're going to hook it up so people can have their... Hey, you know what? Yeah, Coca-Cola, they're getting a free promo in here. But, they're a huge product. You're not going to go against... It's hard to go against Coca-Cola. Here we go. So I took the old box off. And presto. From the time I told, that was like 1 minute, wasn't it? The Coke's hooked up. So, I got a couple minutes here. The door's unlocked, even though I say 10:30. People aren't used to, they're not used to the doors being open at 10:30. So, there's people waiting to get here at 11 o'clock. Hopefully you see the door, they see the cars and things like that. But the bigger the show gets, hopefully it's Friday. This next Friday will be my last Friday. I am going on the Carnival Cruise Line. Oh yes, and Carnival Marketing and Media Department contacted me, and we are going to be doing at least 3 live shows or not recorded shows, but in front of live audiences. It could be small audiences, but they're going to be doing those shows from the Splendor, the Carnival Cruise Ship Splendor. I had started the podcast months after I had booked the Splendor, and then I was just thinking, that would probably be interesting to take if I can get a little contact with some of their people, maybe do a small. We were in discussions right now, and I would like to, because you know what, I know cruising's not for everyone. No, a lot of people don't like the idea, but I'll tell you, I like the crowd, I like the casino, I like hanging out by the pool, having drinks, hanging out with friends. We're going with 2 other families, and our kids are friends, and we became friends, and there's nothing like hanging out at a big table with a group of people, eating, having a couple drinks. You don't have to worry about driving. You should be careful near the railings and stuff like that, because every so often someone does go missing, and sometimes it's kind of fishy, and no pun intended, how people go missing on their honeymoon, and right after they got a huge life insurance policy. So, and I know accidents can happen, especially when you're not in a place you're not familiar with. But on that show, we're going to be podcasting from the 22nd to the 30th, couple shows, and it should be fun. We'll be hopefully we'll be doing it from different venues. We'll be talking about what we're doing, what kind of activities that are available, the food and the drink, and I know the Carnival people do a really great job, and I'm looking forward to being there. The thing about vacation, remember, you shouldn't be overdoing it, because you know what, it's not just, there's so many times when I was younger, when I go out on vacation, I'd come back and I'd be sick. Not because I got something when I was on vacation. It does happen when you're in large groups of people, but it's because the things you do lower your resistance levels. I mean, we drink, we travel, we stay up late at night. It's physically exhausting when you go in, when standing in line, going to different places and stuff like that. When you go, they have shore excursions on these trips. I love going to the beach. And it's really great to get some rest, take some time, even sleep by the pool. Make sure we're living in Keys, so even we're going to get a little closer to the sun, but you don't get much more burnt than down here. And when you're out on these cruises and stuff like that, a lot of times you just got to make sure that you put on your sunscreen, you get plenty of rest, you hydrate enough, and you get your sleep. And this is how I prepare for it. I make sure I carry plenty of clothes. A lot of times I use the laundry services on the ship, so I don't have to bring everything, because they'll be happy to wash your undergarments and your bathing suits. You don't have to bring 7. If you're a guy, you don't have to bring 7 bathing suits. And when you got, I'm not suggesting you bring 3 pair of clothes for a 8-day cruise, but there's no reason to travel like you're bringing your whole wardrobe over, like Kate Winslet did when she was coming in getting on the Titanic, when they have a truckload of those steamer trunks coming in, and it seems like you have like 20 guys loading them up the gangplanks there. Back then people seemed to bring their whole household on them. They had the big, you see they bring all their items, they bring their knickknacks. People going on cruises back then, I guess it was because it was a week and a half or 2 weeks, just getting. It wasn't like the cruise you go and you stop a bunch of different places. Cruising was actually a way to get someplace, and did a couple things during it. There wasn't tons of activity, and they bring all their crap with them on the boat. Today, I'm a big believer in not bringing too much crap, but I think I'm going to bring I definitely am going to bring some of my broadcast equipment. Hey, Kristen's putting up the specials right now, so that means we know what the lunch specials are going to be. Right? She has excellent handwriting. Yes. You're a right-handed or left-handed? Left-handed. We had this discussion that statistically, at least in the United States, but I don't know if they refer to a 11% of the population is left-handed. Yes, but you find people in certain industries where there are more left-handed people, and it seems in the restaurant business there's a lot of left-handed people. Or, I don't know if that was and some people say, why the heck would left-handedness ever be, why wouldn't it just evolve out of our species because most people are right-handed? Well, I read some studies that left-handedness gives you an advantage in certain, when you're competing for foodstuffs, in competition against another group of people, in tribal thing, being left-handed gives you some advantages. And so left-handedness was kept as a more of a biological diversity that makes you a little more just like height and strength. Yeah. So left-handed people they're just like showing a lot of monkey in the a monkey wrench in the system to ensure the survival of your clan, and that's how they supposedly left-handers stayed around. And today, when you have certain things, a lot of left-handed artists, maybe it just gives you an alternate way of looking at things, even though because certain sides of the brain, you use your right side dominant if you're left-handed, and that has different abilities that on that side of the brain that make you more able or more suitable for certain things. And that doesn't mean that there's right-handed people that aren't. Here I just took a minority group of left-handed people and saying how great we were. But no, I realize there's left-handed pitchers, left-handed fighters. It just, if you're boxing and you have to defend against a left-hander, it's really difficult sometimes because you're just so used to fighting right-handers overwhelmingly. But when you come up against a left-hander, you got that their power punch coming from that way. I am going to we went for almost 30 minutes right now, and we had some interesting things going on. We had and on an earlier podcast, I said there's interesting people here in the Keys. And this gentleman, I'm going to go outside and take a look right now. This gentleman, he walks up and down the Keys here. I'm going to go outside for a minute and see what's going on. He wears white plastic. I'm outside right now. You can see it at Chodom. We're right on Route 1. Literally, we're 100 miles from Key West, but we're 50 miles from Miami. I'm looking north, and this Route 1 goes all the way up to the Canadian border here. But as you go down the Keys, as I said, we're at mile marker 102 in Key Largo. We go all the way down to mile marker 0, Key West, and there is a marker down there that says that. You don't want to go much farther than mile marker 0 unless you have one of those James Bond submarine cars or a flying car. So I think they have, that was more like the Jetsons and stuff like that. So there's this guy, he's around 6'9". He's around my age, very thin, and he wears pure white pants, white shirt. He makes he wraps white plastic around his head. He has a long beard which is braided into a single braid that comes down, and he walks up and down the bike path down here, and he's always carrying white bags. And supposedly he has spoken very little to anybody. Someday I would love to. I've been down here 10 years. I think I've seen him. I don't know if he's been down here 10 years, but it wasn't much more before that, before I met him or seen him. But there was always, I've always seen that guy. We have the box guy, we call him a box guy, because he was riding his bike all the time. He used to have a milk crate on it. He was just not attached to the front of his bike, on his 10-speed bike, just kind of balanced on the front of his bike. It's always pedaling up, and he's just wearing shorts. He has a very hairy back, and he's pedaling up and down. We call him the box guy. And there was the Mets helmet guy. He was just he was on kind of like one of those beach cruiser bikes, you'd call, like the ones you sit back with the handlebars coming up, always smiling up and down. You know, those were three really unique people. There's some Mexican gentleman that rides up and down with his electric tricycle, and he's always playing music and stuff like that. That's it's like a party, traveling party. But yeah, you got our characters down here. Someday I would love to land an interview with the guy, not just to get the real story. And we were just wondering. It's like the log lady. If you ever saw this show called Twin Peaks, so he's our log lady that doesn't speak. And I'm not insulting the guy. And what? Maybe he does have a smartphone or something like that. If he has internet access, I would please ask him to please come to the catch. I will buy you lunch. I will buy you lunch and any libation. I imagine you don't drink. But if I could just speak to you for 15 minutes and get, let's say, 200 words out of you. Oh, look at that. A special, hun. That's an A.
I know.
Okay. It's such nice handwriting, too. Okay. So I'm going to give it a break. We're going to wait until we get some people in and show you what Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees Kevin Bacon is about. You know, listen to the insults from some of the guys in the kitchen. As I said before, you know, I may not know the language, but you know, you always know the curse words when you hear them so many times. So, talk to you later. There's the bartender, Jim Rand, coming to you from the catch in Key Largo, where we are open right now. It's 11, and we're expecting our first people to come in. If I don't, well, you will hear from me again later. But remember, we have our live show coming to you on Wednesdays at 4:30. And August 2nd, we have a big show coming to you from the catch. We have our liquorette coming in and featuring some products. And if you're a local listener or not local listener and you're in the area, you're certainly welcome to stop by 4 o'clock on August 2nd, Wednesday. And we will be doing drink specials, like giving away drinks of the samples of tasting some of the products that we're featuring from our liquor reps. And I'll be back to you in a couple hours. Thank you.